Hello, world. Those that have ears, let them hear. Family, why do people commit suicide? It's basically our inability to accept the good with the bad, or the good and the bad. Sometimes we get in situations where if it doesn't align with what we visualize, right, inside our mind, then it has the potential to allow one to take themselves out. Think about the police officer, right? One time I had a conversation with my uncle. He used to work dispatch. And there was a police officer that committed suicide. And based on the evidence that was left behind, he basically got tired of seeing the evil that exists within this world. He just simply got tired of seeing it, observing it, being in that particular career field. You see a lot of evil, right? You see a lot of the evil that goes on in this world. And he just got tired and he blew his brains out, man. He offed himself. And it doesn't matter. This is the thing, the mystery of it, man. It doesn't matter what type of situation you're in. But at the end of the day, it's our inability to take our feelings and emotions, accept the good with the bad, and detach them from our lower self. Our lower self lives within our five senses. Our godly self lives outside of our five senses. And this is what we have to understand. I'll take another scenario, a real life scenario, right? This particular scenario is one of unrighteousness, right? So you have the man. He has a fiance and he has a side chick. He gets discovered, right? In other words, the two women find out what he's been doing. So he gets wind of them finding out, obviously, and his fiance addresses the situation, and shortly thereafter, he commits suicide. Now, why did this man commit suicide? We can surmise that because he was not able to continue to live in the reality that he created, that he desired, which was to have his cake and eat it too. And he knew it was coming to an end, and he knew he was going to lose it all. He was probably going to lose the fiance as well as the girlfriend or the side chick. And so he committed suicide, family. He committed suicide. He ended his life simply because he was still attached to his lower self, to his lower being. That means he had not elevated beyond his five senses. And not only that, allow your indiscretions to purify you. Realizing that, and this is the other thing about that, man. You know when something is wrong and you don't ever have to pick anything up, right? You have this ability, innate ability, to know when something is wrong. And it'll either take you out or it will purify you. Meaning it will begin to elevate you above your five senses, right? And then there was another scenario, man. Think about the child, or even right now with COVID-19, we hear people that are killing themselves, committing suicide, because they just can't take the evils of the world. They can't take the yin and the yang. They can't take the good with the bad and allow the evil to purify them, man. Allow the negative to purify you, to elevate you, But anyway, you think about children that are bullied. We've many instances over and over again where a child takes their own life because they just want to be accepted and loved. And basically, what do? Same concept as that police officer. They get tired of just seeing and being treated through the evils, being exposed to the evils of this world. And they just take themselves out. They can no longer take the pressure when it comes to the wilds of this world, man. To the enemy, the one that like that lion that just seeks whom he can devour. And I said it earlier in another post, man. It doesn't matter what age you are, what you look like, what race you are. None of this stuff matters. The enemy's number one goal is to take you out, man. And he attacks you through your five senses. He attacks you through your five senses. And this is why it's so important for us to really train up our children, man, so that they're equipped with the whole armor of God, with the whole armor the God on high, the one that sits high and looks low, man. You know, so this is why people commit suicide, family. It's our inability to detach ourselves from our lower selves, from our feelings, from our five senses. And this is it at the end of the day, man. There's no other way to sum it up. And once we get better at doing that, then we begin to see who we really are. The one that we are that is absent of this body. And this is why, family, you can look at when you sleep at night, sleep is the cousin to death. And it's been said that death is our highest level of consciousness. Meaning, just like the word says, man, and it tells us in Matthew, I believe, yes, it's Matthew, whoever shall lose their life shall gain their life, but whosoever shall gain their life shall lose their life. Better is the day of death than the day of birth. Because why? If sleep is the cousin of death, and death is really our true nature and who we are, meaning your physical death will will transition you out of this body, right, and into life. Family, Philippians 2:5, man. Let this mind be in you that was also in Christ Jesus. I'm out. Be blessed.